Marcos Villegas here in Los Angeles with Caleb Truax. And Caleb, they just announced your fight, but I was there scratching my head and I'm like, why isn't he fighting James DeGale again? I was there in person. That was a great fight. Why isn't that rematch not happening?
You know, I'm not sure. I lobbied for a third one, and he went in a different direction, and that's all I can answer to that. But right now I got Peter Quillin in front of me. That's a formidable task as well, so it's got to be 100% focused on him, and come April, I'll be ready.
You know, I heard he's supposed to be fighting Chris Eubank Jr. in a card in England. What's your reaction to him going to face Eubanks instead of a rubber match with you?
Obviously, I was disappointed because I wanted. I thought I did enough to win the second fight, and I didn't go my way. But I was lobbying for a third one. Like I said, we filed a petition to have IBF do a mandatory rematch, and they didn't accept it. But yeah, then he gave up his title and gave it to Uzcategui, and now he's fighting DeGale, or no, now he's fighting Eubank. So hopefully it works out for him. If not, then that's his problem.
Unfinished business, though, surely.
I think so. I mean, I'd like to get that fight eventually again, just to settle the score. I can't it's tough for me. I'm competitive, so it's tough for me to live with a draw. You know, basically, I won the first one, you won the second one. I gotta settle out, see who wins the third one.
You went to England, you won the title, you came in and you fought DeGale. What would you attribute this resurgence in your career to, if you could pin it down to one thing?
You know, I really refocused. After I lost to Durrell, I was going through some personal problems. My girlfriend had almost passed away in childbirth, and I just wasn't myself, you know. And I kind of just refocused and just really got back in the gym and worked on the things that I knew I needed to work on. And I have great trainers, great managers, and a great team in PBC behind me. And they put their faith in me. They got me to fight with DeGale, the original one. It worked out. It was a great experience for me, and now I'm able to parlay that into more bigger fights and hopefully make some money in these last couple of years of my career and retire and sail off into the sunset.
I think there's a lot of options there for you. You got David Benavidez, you got Uzcategui, Caleb, you got Callum Smith as well, who won the tournament. How are you seeing that you're going to navigate this last part of your career, and who do you want to target first if you were successful against Peter, who's right next to you, by the way?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to make the same mistake that I think DeGale made against me the first time around, is just overlooking the person in front of you. So I'm just focused on Peter Quillin right now, and it's a long way off. It's still, you know, 5 or 6 months away, so I have plenty of time to prepare for that and be at my best. And once I get to that fight, then I'll worry about what's next. But to kind of answer your question, I just want the biggest fights possible. Like I said, I'm 35 years old. I'm nearing the end of my career, and I want to make as much money and cement as much of a legacy I can until before I retire.
You being a former champion, coming up, being a top contender in this division, who do you see as the #1 guy? Is it Callum because he won the tournament, or do you see someone else?
I think it's got to be Callum Smith, because I think Groves was considered the #1 guy, and now Callum Smith has a ring belt, I believe. I'm not sure, but he looked really good against that in that World Boxing Super Series and knocked Groves out, who is a tough, great super middleweight, and so I think I'd rate him as #1 in the division right now.
All right, Peter's not behind you anymore. How's this fight go down? How do you feel you're going to beat him?
You know, I'm going to bring my A game like I always do, and put pressure on guys and just dictate the pace of the fight. And I don't think he deals with pressure that well, and that's what my strong suit is. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring it to him and see what he does.
I always think now, every fight that he has, I think to the Jacobs fight, and knowing that he's moving up a weight division now as well. And I was thinking, okay, I think Caleb has a good chance if he goes forward and really invests in the body and pressure, he can get him out of there.
I hope so. You know, I'm in it for the long haul, as I am with all my fights. You know, I expect all of them to go 12 rounds. If they end up earlier, then that's great. But yeah, man, you saw my fights against DeGale. I just put pressure on him and tried to dictate the pace of the fight, and that's what I'm going to do against Quillin, and see what he does in return.
Caleb, thank you so much. Good seeing you. Appreciate it.